Metal Gear Survive is a very interesting kind of game. You would expect it to be something that would be just awful, something like Resident Evil Raccoon City. Those that kind of the kind of licensed spin-off that barely gives a crap, doesn't try hard, and is just crap. But it's strange because it's basing itself on the gameplay of a game that was very beloved and highly praised. So, going into Metal Gear Survive's beta, I really didn't know what to expect. On the one hand, it was the first game, it was the first Metal Gear game after Kojima and Konami had their outing, and it wasn't anything like the previous main Metal Gear games. But on the other hand, trailers had shown that this looked genuinely kind of interesting, and apparently a lot of the original staff members are still around making this game. So going into this game's beta with that in mind, I really didn't know what to expect. And I was genuinely surprised by what I got. I never played Metal Gear 5. I've never played any of that. I heard that the gameplay was really fun, but some fans really weren't a fan of the story. I wouldn't know. I've never played it, so going into this game, it's not as redundant as if I had played Metal Gear Solid 5, because this gameplay is all new to me. I never even played Ground Zeroes, so that probably would make my experience with this game a lot more positive and not negative, because I'm not having this preconceived notion of what Metal Gear Solid 5 was like, and then I'm going into this game and judging it for being very similar. The beta definitely provides some interesting opportunities, because there's a looting aspect to it where after each mission you get resources to build more things, upgrade things, and repair items. And it definitely brings in that whole point about this game always being online, where the resources are shared between the single player and the multiplayer. And this is the kind of multiplayer integration that actually genuinely interests me, because it seems like you don't need to play the multiplayer, and it's also not the focus. It's a supplement to the single player. I think that could definitely make this game a lot more replayable in that sense, because it is going to get... Metal Gear Survive has a base building aspect, so eventually you're going to get to the end of the single player, and then we don't have any information on if there's missions that can be replayed over and over, if there's like a endless generation of things to do. But the one thing about survival games is that it's always fun to replay the game and start from scratch. And there's definitely an opportunity for the multiplayer to be kind of an extra supplement for restarting, like seeing like how much multiplayer resources you can get before starting a new single player playthrough and stuff like that. On the gameplay itself, it's very fun, actually. I was genuinely surprised. The melee combat, I've heard people say it's sluggish, but honestly it felt very appropriate for what Metal Gear Survive is trying to be like. You start out with a traditional hunter's spear and a machete and a handgun, and it's discouraged to use weapons because, much like Fortnite, your ammo is carried through everything. You run out of ammo in one mode, you run out of ammo for everything. So you want to use melee weapons more than guns because you want to spare that ammo. So the melee weapons are actually still fun to use. It's very satisfying to use a spear to poke a crystal zombie's head off and set up fences to take them out that way. And it definitely it is fun to play through. The combat is satisfying. The few Metal Gear elements that I did notice that were in there were genuinely interesting for this kind of game, because normally these horde mode types of games, they don't really give you a lot of overpowered or super powerful methods of defeating these monsters. Usually, from my experience, horde mode types of games usually, like, as they go on, it's really more exploiting AI to win than like just having sheer powerful characters and weapons. And Metal Gear Survive is offering the Walker Gears, which are like little miniature versions of Metal Gears. I assume I've never played 5, but I know they're from 5. I've seen gameplay of it from 5, and They are extremely powerful, which is genuinely surprising for this kind of series. So on that note, I think that's the word to describe how I feel about Metal Gear Survive. It's a surprise. It's surprising to see this game isn't like the next Raccoon City. It could be. It could very well be the next Raccoon City because we don't have the full game yet, but it certainly doesn't play like it. It doesn't seem like it so far, so I'm definitely keeping my eye on it, and hopefully this game comes out, and hopefully it's really good. That's all I gotta say. Grayson out.